So good morning. I hope you enjoyed the first session. Thanks to Jon. Our session now is Tom Crocker, and this is the third time he's tried to present this. So we wish him all the best as he introduces DB2 Administration Foundation, the no charge replacement for administrative features in Data Studio.
Catchy.
So thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. A catchy title. You'll be pleased to see that I've shortened it. So let's make sure I can share. Okay. Let's start presenting. Right. So. Which screen can you see? Can you see the good one or the bad one?
No, we can see the DB2 Administration Foundation.
Right. Okay. So you should see the full screen one because. Okay. Right. So you can see I've shortened the title. I've decided that's far too much of a mouthful, but I have to get the no charge in there somewhere. So what we're going to look at is a product offering, no charge product offering. That looks at the administration of DB2. It's to address some of the skills gaps that they're coming in to make things a lot easier, simpler. And the idea is that this will hopefully eventually become the one way in to administering DB2. There are lots of big plans, and there's a lot of fantastic features that are sitting there waiting. So we've looked at what's required, and the interface into DB2 is where we've started. And as I say, it's a replacement of Data Studio and Data Server Manager. There have been no announcements of end of support for either of them, I believe. So let's start having a look and see what it is. So it's been around for 2 years now. That's how long I've been trying to do this. As I say, I've had COVID that stopped me. I've had other injuries that stopped. So I'm fit and healthy. So it was announced in June 8th, 2020, I believe now. And what we're looking at is to transform those everyday tasks that you're doing. And we're aiming at development DBAs, developers themselves, etc. And we're taking all the UIs and we are rolling them up into one graphical user interface. And as I say, ultimately the idea is that this will become the way in. It's a no charge license, so a bit like Data Studio. You can download it from SMP and you can activate it and you can use it. There is optional SNS. Customers like SNS, and there is an optional fee that you can pay to have that SNS supplied. I don't know how much that is. That's something for IBM to tell you. And the bit I like is that it runs entirely on ZOS. There is nothing on your laptop. You give your developers, your customers, whatever, a URL, and that's all they need. There is nothing else. So if you want to upgrade, you do it in one place. If you want to run two versions together, you can run two versions. You just give them a different URL, and you drive them that way. And as I say, one of the things is new users and making it easier for them to become productive. I used to do education for DB2 when I was contracting, and I used to take trainees. I wouldn't let them anywhere near a tool or a product until they knew the catalog and they could write the SQL for it. Those days are sadly long gone, and I don't care to remember how long ago that was, but it was a long time ago. So we've had feedback from customers, like there's an Italian bank who just thrown this at their raw recruits, and they're seeing productivity straight away. So what can you do with it? So excuse me. There are four main key features. The first one is the discovery. It's a very easy way of searching your entire estate. So you define to Admin Foundation, the subsystems that you are interested in or you want loaded in. And from that, when you say, show me all the tables under a schema, Tom, we can, we will search across all of those subsystems that you've told us about, or you can narrow down the search. If you're only interested in DB2P, then you can just select that. So that is across every single subsystem. Very simple to do. The explore function, so you can explore via a browser-based user interface, and it's built on top of the Zoe virtual desktop. So from a stacking point of view, and there's an architectural slide a bit later on, you have Zoe running, then you have something called Unified Management Server sitting running inside, and Zoe, and that is the brains, if you like. That's the engine. And then talking through UMS, you'll have Admin Foundation. You also have DevOps, and there's an IMS, Admin Foundation now, which is built along the same lines as this. And again, I said that we search across multiple subsystems. We've got very good flexible searching options. You can narrow down the search, you can expand it to everything, you can save your searches. And when we get multiple objects, what we'll do is we'll get the best fit for columns. We'll look across all the objects you've got back and gone, well, these ones are the most common ones, we'll put that in. But you have the ability to amend those, and if I remember, I'll show you those when I come in. Dashboard style object detail view. We'll see all this in a moment because I'm going to do a live demo for yeah. That's I'm one of the stupid ones, or the brave ones as they call, but we'll do this. So you've got a DB2 command shell. So we know which subsystem you ran that on. We know the difference between a DB2 and a DSN command. We'll route them all to the correct places. You can do DDL. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, anyone who got any questions, just shout as we're going along or say them to the end. We do single object DDL generation, and that includes store procedures, etc. And you can amend things like bind options. And so we're built on top of Zoe. And
Tom, sorry to grab you mid-flight. Yeah. There's a question just popped up from Diran, asking where the previous SQLs where are the previous SQLs saved, and what are the limits? Is there a folder structure that we can use to manage the SQLs?
The SQL is not saved at the moment. The commands are, the SQL isn't, but it will go, I believe, into a YAML file at the moment. I would need to check that. They are fixing that one. It stays for the duration of your session, but not across sessions at the moment. That was an oversight, and it is being rectified. And I don't know. I think they're going to put it in YAML files. I'm not 100% sure. That one's still being worked on. But I will find out. Did that answer the question? Okay, so as I was saying, this is built on top of Zoe, and we're going to start making use of the JES Explorers, the MS Explorer. The JES Explorer is one of my favorite parts of it. It means you don't have to go to ISPF to go and look at job outputs, data sets, etc. And the JES one is a really nice thing. So we're going to start using those. The SQL editor, so you can run SQL, and we will do highlight checking. We will tell you if it's wrong. So as you type it, there's no need to run it to find out you've got it wrong. And I say we've done bind, rebind. And again, we're going to see most of these. In fact, all of them I remember have got time. So that's what we've got at the moment, and this is what we've got planned or has actually been delivered. So we're about to be at 1.2, I think, but at the moment we've incorporated into SQL editors, DB2 DSN commands, as I've said. We've now got single query tuning services. So a bit like the features of Query Tuner. And it gives statistics advice, visual explainer, and we will see that. We've got we can go and have a look at this statement cache, dynamic plans, etc. We'll see some of that, and we've got IDAA administration as well. What is coming along is workload queries and being able to export results. So. And just to emphasize it, so we've got the IDAA administration query tuning services. So at this point, if there's no questions, I can jump straight into a demo. So let's see, stop that share and let's start a different one. No, I didn't do desktop one straight away. So hopefully you should now see there's a log on screen. So can you confirm that? So
yes, I can see that. Yep, I can see that. Just logging in.
So this is the first place that you get to. With desktop, as I say, we're running on everything on Z, and as you can see here, I've got that port 8944 allocated. If I went to 8744, I would go to DevOps. So there's various ones, and there's along here, along the bottom, a bit like a Windows thing. I've got a 32 emulator, JS Explorer, and we've got something called the Unified Experience. So if we click on that, and that will bring you into your, in this case, Admin Foundation. If you had the DevOps product, you'll see a different landing page. An Admin Foundation comes with the DevOps product. So this is where you can start, and this is your basic search area. So let's pick something that's really meaningful. I'm going to, let's start at the, First thing you have to do is to register your subsystem. And as you can see here, I've got 4 subsystems registered, port numbers, etc. And what that will do is then go and collect metadata about some of the objects inside DB2 and store that. So I've got 4 across here. I can refresh, I can edit, remove, etc. quite easily. And this is telling you the status of it. So if there's been a problem, you'll see it. And the messages are what's the last discovery. So everything was complete there. So we're ready to go. So if we go to objects, let's do name starts with Tom. I'm very imaginative on some of my names. So okay, so I'm just involved. I want to look for something called Tom, and I'm going to apply. And there we are. I've got 36 objects spread across 4 subsystems, and you can see the various different names. And these, as I said, are the objects that were the column names that were matched. And over here, I've got a column selector. So if I wanted to, I could put in database. So you can see there where it's sensible, the database is going to be there. And the reason we do the combined columns is that, as you can see here in this example, there's a lot of white space, so we're maximizing the space there, but you can tailor this. So if I wanted to narrow down the subsystems, I've got a checkbox here. If I wanted to narrow down to a database, which is what I'm going to do, I can apply here. So here we go. These are the databases that I've got. And if I wanted to filter on subsystem ID a bit here, I'll get a list of all the values and I can apply that. Excuse me. So as you can see, it's quite simple. Didn't understand anything of the structure of the catalog. I'm driving through and I'm looking across all of the systems. Now I can save that. I can load it. I can do whatever I want with them. And I've got starts with end with. So I've got all the fairly common things. So that's how you get to start to look at the object. So let's have a look in a little bit detail and let's pick this database. So I've just clicked on database. I'm going to get all the information. So I've gone back to the DB2 catalog to have a look at these, and this gives me an overview. So we got the key features, and they're all look and feel the same. They've all got this concept of tabs and tiles. So here we are in the overview tab. Here's key information. Here's the hierarchy. So above it, it's the subsystem. Here's the structure, that's what's in it, and here's some key information about it. I can either click on the details or I can click on the tabs. Let's go through the tabs. So here we are. These are all the table spaces that I have inside that database. If there's more objects of interest, you'll see here. We'll see that in a moment. So anything is blue is hyperlinked, so I can drive further down into the objects. But we'll have a look at the tabs now. So here we go. We've got the DDL. So that's the DDL as it is in the catalog at the moment. Now we don't allow editing inside Admin Foundation at the moment. But you could take it to the SQL processor, which we'll see in a moment. What that will do will allow you to edit it and then run it as if you were writing your own DDL, or you can cut and paste it if you're going somewhere else. And the relationships tab starts to show you where things are in the hierarchy. So here we go. We've got a table space. We've got a table, etc. And so I'm just drilling down, and it views, etc. Packages. They would all be there. And again, as I say, I can jump to any of these, anything that's blue, hyperlink, and I can jump. There's a status. This will show you any restricted statuses inside that database. The status tab is also there for things like tables, but we resolve that to table space. So you can, if you've got table unavailable, just click on status and we can see anything that is off on that. So let's pick a table. Let's pick this one. Got no idea which one that is. I'll pick a different one each time. So again, same look and feel. So you've got all the key information about it. The hierarchies, it's all getting filled out. How many pages it's got, so we know. Other things to spot is we've got a little info button here, and that will tell you the type of table space. And then if you click on learn more, that will jump out of here and take you to the IBM information page for that object. Sorry. So again, we've got the same type of structures, tables. Is it partitioned? So the details, the DDL, the relationship, and the status. So we're slowly working down through here. Here's a table, and we start showing the RI. But again, everything else is very similar, and I can jump backwards and forwards. There is a data page on here. So that's interesting. If there was a relationship, if there was RI, you would see it over on this right-hand portion. And again, the DL. So again, it's all the same look and feel, and this is just having a look around the catalog. So I could dive down to other objects if you wanted, but I mean, let's go back to here. And so there's quite a bit to cover. So if we've got time, okay. So let's have a look for something else. Let's have a look. Is here, and let's have a look for. Well, let's just see what we can. So here we go. We've got some DB2 packages here. And let's just pick one at random. So again, same look and feel, it's quite intuitive. So there's more than one version. We would have the drop down up here would be showing it. The structure, so again, the versions, where it's dependent upon, this is a dynamic SQL in here, so you wouldn't see much, but you would see the dependencies for other objects. And if you wanted to bind this, so you can so this is set up for rebind. But if I go and do edit, I'm now starting to get into the edits for it. So I've only got rebind on here. But one of the nice things is I can show you the differences. So if I do explain, let me just make a change here. If I do explain yes, and put on the difference view, I begin to see what did I change. I've lost track of what I'm changing, but I can do it side by side. So what's on the right is what I've been changing, and I can see exactly what line by line what I'm been doing, and I can revert the change. I can apply the changes. I haven't tried this out. Right, successful, and you can review the report of it. As again, it's Validate runtime for this one. So that's a nice easy way of doing rebinds. Also within the package, you can see all the SQL. And from here, we're going to have a look at tuning services at the moment. But where it makes sense, where you're showing SQL or object, if it makes sense that you're going to be able to tune them, then we can jump into the tuning services. Or in this case, you can view the SQL query and it will jump into the SQL processor, and it will then give you the option to change it. I mean, this is going into host variable, so we probably have to change it. But, or you can just tune it, and that will take you into the tuning process, which is next on the list to have a look at. But everything else is similar. So there's nothing difficult in there. So I've jumped through the catalog. I've rebound something. I could have changed some DDL all from one without knowing. If I'm being honest, you could do this without knowing which catalog tables you're looking at, etc. So if we have a look at, if we leave that for a moment, we've got commands. Now you don't have to remember where you ran things, because we will remember for you. So for here, I've got a display command here that's saved. Now I know this one is not going to find anything because that's quite deliberate, but I can run it. Don't network. I've had trouble with my network. So okay, so that's fine. But okay, I've got the wrong connection. I'll just run it on the right one. So very simple to use. And see, I don't need the dash or anything. But if I've got here, I got a rebind package. Now that is going to go off and do the rebind. So this package must be the most rebound package I've ever known, because it's getting thrashed a lot. So again, I could change that to a different subsystem, very nice and easy, and we save, I think it's 12 commands. And then in the SQL, processor, and someone asked about the recent statements. I primed this, so I was testing out to make sure everything was working before this. So I had a recent statement. So on the recent statement side of it, this is something that I've run, and I can run it again. And there we go. There's some detail coming back from it. So from here, I can tune it. So this is where we jump into tuning services. So so these are all APIs, you can call this from VS Code, for example. The exact same APIs that can be used. So if I do a profile, let's take this one. And for those of you who know Query Tuner, you'll know that you can do the visual explain side of things, or you can do the statistics advisor. We'll do both. And for ease of use, I'm going to give it a nice catchy thing, and I like to change the query number because I don't clean up after myself sometimes. So if I then do a next, what this is doing is calling out to the query tuning services, and it's running your visual explain, for those you know and love visual explain, and it also do your statistics advisor. So what statistics have you got would be better. So let's have a look at visual explain. So just click on the eye. And here we go. So let's just minimize that. I'm sure you all know and love visual explain. So there we go. Gets you all the properties. Pick something that's a little bit more interesting. Let's have a hybrid join. Okay, so you can see all the join predicates, etc., and why it made the choice. So nice, quite simple, easy way of doing it. You can export the picture. You can open up in another browser window. You can search, etc. So again, it's a well-loved tool, and it's in here as well. If you want to see what it was explained with, we keep it all here for you. Now, if you want to look at tuning. Statistics, not very much in here. It's suggesting that we run these run stats to collect better stats to improve the performance of that query. Now, something else that you are quite often asked about is capture details to send to IBM, so they can do some analysis of why this access path, why wasn't a different one chosen. So, and that's what this capture query environment does. So what that's doing is going along and checking to see, it collects things like the DDL, the statistics, the query that was run, just so that IBM can recreate. I've had a look through it, and there's no sensitive information collected. I mean, column names are. So that make the key columns are collected, but it's the same type of report as you would take out of Query Tuner. As you can see here, I've collected it. I can download it as a zip file, and I can send it off to IBM. So that's the tuning, and you can get to that from wherever you are within the product, if there's valid SQL there. Right, okay, if you're not looking for it and try and tune it, the button will not be there. So if I go, I can jump back to SQL, I can make a few changes, I can tune it again, and I can keep going through the process. Now, I've done the SQL commands. Now the jobs, I've run these jobs. Now where are they? Now we store them. So you can see here. Here we go, the ones we've just run, and here's a couple that I ran earlier when I was testing, and all of them here. So you can then get them, and they're stored, and you can get them. Same for Query Advisor. Sorry, the capture query jobs. So again, you can download them and send them back in anytime you like. So that leaves us with SQL. So well, let's jump one other place. So we've done tuning to IDAA support. So we provide the IDAA support, and what I like is we treat it just like any other DB2 object. So I can click on accelerator. If I know the names, I could do all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to apply this, and I've got 4 accelerators. And let's pick one. So now we'll jump into the IDAA administration side of things. So again, key information, we're treating it exactly the same as everything else. Trace levels, what's been happening. So again, it's quite simple. This isn't a very used by IDAA. Okay, so there are not vast amounts of details, but here are the tables that I've loaded in. And again, one thing to note, I've got column selectors. Again, I should have pointed out in a couple of places, but where it is making sense. So up here, I can act at a accelerator level. So if I stop the accelerator, etc., I can dip it in there. I got an add. So let's add a table. See if I've got any near with that. Okay. So it's a boring one. So these are all the tables that I've got that match that criteria. I could have searched harder, but I'm just going to pick a table to add. Okay, so you can see here it's added in the middle, and it's in the status of initial load pending. So it's not going to be disabled until we've done that initial load. And to do the initial load, we just go to the sign on the side, click on load, and we get the option. So if there was more than one partition, we'd have more. So we've selected that, and after load, I'm going to do the accelerator. I'm going to make it available. I don't even know if there's any data in this table, but if there is, it will be loaded into there. So there we go. That table is now ready and primed, ready to be accelerated against. So that's quite simple. If I want to take one off, I just select one and then get take action, and I can load work for whatever on that particular object. If I want to change the keys, so if I want to try to change from distributed to organized, so quite simple. I can just add to organizational keys. So there we go, and I can submit that, and the changes will be made. And then I can go back to the tables. Okay, so that's most of the administration that you would want to, or you would do on a regular basis. Now queries, as I said, this isn't a well-used system. But let's just, I did prime it with a couple of questions, a couple of queries. So again, scope all, start timestamps, end timestamps, minimum elapsed times. So you can zoom in, and if I do capture, should find 2. Yes. So these are the 2 queries I've run against that accelerator by me in the last however long month. And from here, I can jump through to with objective to explain. I can go to view the SQL. I can, and the view explain details here are the ones from the IDAA. They're not the DB2 ones. And this means something to someone. But that's all the details from that explain. I can then jump into the visual explain. I can capture the query environment, okay, or I can jump and have a look at excuse me, the view SQL. So again, here, this is the syntax checker, and all that is wanted is this. So I could then run that. I could tune it as if I was doing tuning right from the start, and I'd jump back into the IDAA. So again, I've had a look, and I've got everything that I need from that IDAA. And then we've got the monitor tab, which is showing you things like system utilization. I told you it wasn't used much, but so we can timeline to slide along. You can then go along and see all the details of what's being used. Data slices, how's the data split across all the partitions? As I say, we've got very little on there, but as you can see, we can show it what's running, what's finished, and any incremental updates that they've been. So you can do everything from adding the tables, removing the tables, changing the organization of them on the IDAA, starting, stopping replication, the accelerators, etc. And all from the same dashboard that you use to search for the objects. So here we are. The last thing I want to show you is the Explore SQL. So this is where you can start exploring the dynamic statement cache, etc. So again, you select a profile. And what this is doing is telling us where all user IDs, etc. And we're going to have a look at the statement cache, and let's see what I've run. Okay, so these are queries that I have run. I've limited it to 100, and that's like the only limit I've got on here. So we've got the statement ID, we've got the full statement ID. Is it stabilized or not? But I can put in. Let's have a look and see. Let's see if we collected these. Yeah. So is it accelerated? What Apple compatibility was it running at? So I think we've got quite a few flavors of Apple compat around. So you can see it's quite simple to use. If you have a look at the stabilized, we've got 20 statements that are stabilized. If I then swap that out and put it to no, okay, so that should be 80. Good. Go back to, so if I've got this 1138, if I come over to this side and I decide I want to stabilize it, and see again, we've got our view SQL query, so jump over to SQL process, so we've got tune, jump into tuning, but I can do a stabilize. So I want to stabilize that, and I want to put it to, I told you I had no imagination when it came to names. Everything's got Tom there, and it's been stabilized. So it was 1138. So we've just then capture the environment again. And there we go. 1138 is now stabilized. So we've fixed the access path in there, and we can have a look at packages. And I do just happen to have here we go. So Excel. So this is what is being run. Has been run through that package, or what is in that package could be run. So again, nice and simple to use. Hundreds of statements. And let's see if I don't know whether this will work, but because I don't know what RI etc is in there, but let's try. Let's make a number up. Okay, so we could run that. No, I've deleted the underlying. So the object doesn't exist in this subsystem. It was in a different subsystem. So again, you can see how easy it is to run it and get all the information back. So, and if you select a subset of, and this is true in any of the screens, you select a subselect, you'll get a take action button up here. So you could do multiple things at once. I think that's covered most of the stuff I was looking to show you, but I think you'll see that it's quite an easy, intuitive way of doing things. It's you start off with and obviously how many columns in this table, for example, across all my subsystems. Oh, I've got one less in here. There might be a change going through, either to remove or to add the column that hasn't got to whichever side we're looking at. From that to going through and doing rebinds, whether by the command processor or whether it's by the Explore objects, the ability to do mass loads of tables into IDAA, and tuning, being able to tune SQL statements. So all of the fundamental usage of Data Studio DSM is all in there. There is a lot more in the pipeline, and then which should see any day soon. So yeah. So are there any questions?
We have one question on the chat. Once again from Jirendra. Is there an SQL procedure development and debugging feature?
That is inside VS Code.
Yeah.
The decision was taken to put that into VS Code. If you think it's the wrong decision, shout. But yes, it's inside there.
I've got a question. Is there a method of importing DDL into a data model?
With this, no. We are running off the catalog. We can import SQL, as you saw on here. You can use an input file to go through this side of things. No, there is not. This is looking at administrating what's already there. Is it coming? Hands are tied. Yeah, that's about as much as I can say. But yeah, there are things coming along.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Any more questions?
The only other thing I've got, if there aren't any more questions in the flash chat out, was so I promised you an architectural type diagram. So let's say we've got everything is activated. It's accessed through the unified experience for ZOS, which is just the container, and we go through this administration foundation layer to the unified management server, and everything's REST APIs. We go through all the discovery. Everything is there. The tuning services are outside of this box, but we talk to them all the time. So again, very simple. And the other question we get is, if I wanted to order it, what do I need to order? And these are all the stuff that you need to order. The Administration Foundation, which is the no charge product, you will need the management server accessories, distribution of Zoe on a unified management server. You need the developer extensions, the accessory suites, and if you've got the analytics, you will need that as well. So if you take all this, then that will get you everything you've seen. I love Zoe. I think it's a great idea, and so say the JS Explorer and the MVS Explorer, everything, and you can interlink everything. So it's just I think this will make life a lot simpler. So that's my thing. I've got Oh, I've got a quarter hour left. Oh, I must be talking faster these days. So if there are no more questions, I'll hand it back to Marcus.
Great, thank you very much, Tom. That was worth waiting for. The several attempts. So I'm glad you were able to present it.
Yeah, I'm glad as well.
So thank you everyone for taking part, for joining our session. Let me see when the next one is. So we have a few more minutes, about 10 minutes before the next, before we have a break. Then at 12 o'clock, we have Jim Wankowski talking about weaving mainframe data into your data fabric. So at 12 p.m. GMT, we will be reconvening for that. So we'll give you an extra 10, 14 minutes to your coffee break. So thanks, everyone. We shall see you later. And don't forget to leave your session feedback. Thank you. See you soon.
Only if it's good. Only if it's good. All right. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Bye all.